And you're live.
Hi everyone, Nick Creticos of Nick's Seasonal Decor, and tonight you are watching me on Bodabra. And this one is kind of like the holiday special, I'd say, because we are not wrapping presents, but we're going to be decorating some presents. Yaya wrapped some presents this week, and there's some names on them, so we're going to kind of spruce them up. But as you guys come in, let me know where you're watching from. Tonight we are going to give away another roll of free scrunchy ribbon, and all you have to do is just let us know where you're from. So let me pull up the video. Behind the camera tonight is my sister Alex, so be sure to say hi to Alex as you guys come in and thank her for recording. Quickly going to share on our page. That way we can bring our people there. There
Hi
we go.
everyone, thank you for joining.
Yeah, so this is going to be like the holiday special. Let's see. Designing some presents. So what we have in front of us is our large Bodabra, and to what's this? My right, your left, we have our gold wire, and tonight we're going to be using our silver wire. So the Bodabras are currently sold out at nicksseasonaldecor.com, but we do have the ribbons and the wires we're going to be using tonight, and we carry them both in the silver and the gold. So first things first, this is what the large Bodabra looks like. So this is the one that we carry, and this is the one that I use to make the bows, and we're going to be using our silver wire. So I prefer the silver over gold. Well, not at this time of year. Gold works great for this time of year, but I prefer the silver for the rest of the year because I think you can just get more use out of it because it's silver. It matches everything. So we're going to start by cutting a length of this. And I like to cut it a little bit longer than I typically need. And the reason for that is you're better off being safer than sorry, right? So having a long piece means you can work this into your wreath, your swag, your fireplace mantle. You can be working this on your staircase, your garlands. I mean, what else? Everything.
Yeah.
So I like to cut it a little bit longer to make sure that I have a long enough piece. And then once we cut it, we're going to just fold it in half like so. And we're going to place that right into the middle of our Bodabra.
Hi Karen. Hi Lois. Hi Francis. Welcome everyone. Thank you for joining tonight.
Yes, and I see Lois is from Vermont. Myrtle is from Indiana. So I just placed the wire right in the middle of the top. And now what we're going to do is make our bows. So last week we had somebody, or two, not last week, last month I should say, we had a couple people ask if we can do double ribbon bows. So that's what I figured we would start with tonight. And who knows, these might be the bows that we work into our presents. So what we're going to do is use this 2.5-inch ribbon. I love this with the lacy edge. We are going to start by cutting off a length about yay long. So this is about a 28-inch piece of ribbon. We're going to just fold that in half, and we're going to pinch about 5.5 inches down.
Hey Josephine, watching from Texas tonight.
I see Marie is here from Texas. Merry Christmas to you too, Marie. I can't believe Christmas is right around the corner, you guys. This year, I mean, I say it every year, so it doesn't make a difference, right? You guys are like, all right, Nick, you say it every week at this point. But hey, Francis. But I can't believe this year flew by. I mean, it's Christmas time, Alex.
I know, I can't believe it either. It's Sunday, right? No, Sunday is Christmas Eve.
Yeah, so it's next Monday.
Yeah, a week away,
Oh,
guys.
talking about next Monday, we're going to do a Bodabra Live, and I'm going to do it. I'm Sandy, kind of in the background. And we're going to have special presents we're going to give for Christmas night. So definitely watch next week.
Okay, so we're going to just continue this. I've placed one piece of each, and notice what I did too, is that I alternated them. Another thing that I really want to tell you guys is because I know you guys are like me, and when I first started making bows, I stressed out. They don't have to be the same length. Any length is fine. As long as you're within a 2 or 3 inch ballpark, it's going to still turn out just as beautiful. So I think a lot of you guys get caught up in exact measurements, and when you see me making bows, you think to yourself, okay, Nick, how long are these pieces, you know? And it's not really going to make a huge difference. This bow is perfect for reeds, and I think, you know, if you have a decent sized present, this bow would work for that as well. Garlands, you name it. So don't get too caught up in measurements. You're going to have to kind of adjust them to whatever project you're working with anyway. So that's 2 pieces of ribbon. We're going to come back in with 1 more of each color. Hey, Kelly.
Hey Pamela, Merry Christmas.
So what are you guys doing for Christmas? Any special plans? I know that we're going to Steven's house Christmas Eve, and then Christmas Day will be at Christmas Day will be at our house. And this is the first year there's an extra Creticos member, you guys. So baby Stevie's first Christmas this year. Hey, Bobby. Bobby loves the lacy green on it. Me too. So we have this in lime green too, but I just, you know, I used to not be a huge emerald green fan, but I just think it looks so pretty. What do you think, Alex? I think we're kind
Yeah.
of, I mean, lime is still very popular, so we can't put lime down. But if I had the choice, I would choose the emerald green any day over lime at this point in time. So now that we have 3 pieces of each, kind of alternated, we switch sides with each piece. The only reason I do that, you guys, is that it's easier to fluff because all of the pieces of ribbon are already on the same side that we kind of want them on. So now what we're going to do, since we folded that piece of wire in half, we're going to have one cut end, and then we're going to have a loop. Doesn't matter which side they're facing. Let me just show you the other side, right? Doesn't matter. All you're going to do is pull those 2 tails or 2 wires to the middle and pull them through the loop. It's that easy.
Hi, Bobby. Merry Christmas to you as well.
All right, now what we're going to do is take those wires, pull them tight, and then we're going to tie it from behind. And then what I do at this point in time, this is when you would secure this wire to your grapevine, your evergreen wreath, your swag, wherever you're placing your bow. But I'm going to actually snip off my wire. And now it's time to dovetail. So before we fluff, this is what the bow's looking like. I mean, that already looks pretty to me, but we're going to make it much prettier. Hey, Jane from the UK. Yes, and make sure to join the Bodabra fan gallery as well as the Nick's seasonal decor crafting community. Both groups are great resources for extra inspiration, creativity. There are so many members with so many different styles, skill sets, beginners, advanced designers, and you can learn a lot from everybody. So there's so many different ways of creating beautiful bows and designs, and both of those groups are great assets. All right, so to dovetail, all we're doing is we're taking our tail, we're folding it in half, and we're cutting from the middle out towards the wired edge at an angle. And look at how much better that looks than, let's say, that. So I'm doing it to both ribbons. This ribbon is the exact same, but we are using 2 different widths. So I'm not the type of designer to use 5, 6, 7, 8 different ribbons in my bows. I like to keep my bows simple. And sometimes if you just want to mix it up and not just use one ribbon, don't be afraid of using the same ribbon just in different widths because it really does create a really pretty effect. What do you think, Alex? Do you like doing that too?
Yeah, I agree. It looks really pretty with 2 different widths.
All right, so now we're going to clean up our table and we're going to fluff it.
Hey, Judy. She's watching from cold Virginia tonight.
Ooh, I can imagine. Yeah, today, you guys, we had a few trees fall down in our yard, streets, power
Oh
lines were
dear.
down the house. I'm sorry?
I said, oh dear.
Yeah, the warehouse was out of power this morning. So Dad and I are actually back at the warehouse right now, fulfilling some orders. But streets were closed. The school buses had difficulty getting by. It was a hectic morning with all of the rain and the wind. The wind was the worst part today. So hopefully you guys didn't get hit with that storm today. All right, so here is how the bow looks. Now that we have it all fluffed, and we can spend an eternity fluffing. You guys know that by now. You're never done. So for those of you that add ribbon to your Christmas tree, you're going to be fluffing it up until you take your Christmas tree down. Look
Hi,
how pretty.
Sandra from Kentucky. Merry Christmas to you as well.
Welcome. Hey, Gigi. And I see we have, I'm not sure how to pronounce your name, but from Australia. So welcome. I think it's after, is it morning in Australia? It
I'm
might
not too
be.
sure. Rita says beautiful.
Thank you. And that is how the bow looks. Look at how pretty that is. So easy to do, and it looks so different using the same ribbon, just in different widths. So there is bow number 1.
Hey, Marianne.
Welcome, Marianne. I see a lot of Wreath community members in the house tonight. Welcome, you guys. We are going to cut another length of wire. So again, I'm using the silver. These are 100-yard spools, and you can find them at nicksseasonaldecor.com. We are going to snip it off. This one, I think, is going to be for the bow. So I don't think we really need a long length for this, or for the present, I should say. But what I like to do, too, is I like to take my wires, and I like to tuck them right underneath the Bodabra. And that way, I'm a weird designer, so I like to rotate my Bodabra instead of keeping it stable, and it just keeps them from kind of annoying me. So that is what I like to do with my wires. I tuck them right underneath, and it makes designing your bows so much easier. So now we're going to use some velvet. When I think Christmas, I think velvet. So for this bow, what we're going to do is actually, let's work in a couple tails. So all we're going to do is place our ribbon right in.
Ooh, Connie says they had snow in Kentucky today.
Snow in Kentucky. Wow.
Hi, Pat, watching from South Carolina.
Hey, Pat. So this is going to be a different bow. Watch this. We're going to work in a couple tails. They don't have to be exact measurements. Some are, look at, I mean, that's like an inch off, and that is going to be A-okay. Hey, Karen. Merry Christmas to my favorite craft family. Thank you for that, Karen. Where can I get a bow maker at, says Lana? So right now, we are currently sold out, but you can find them on Bodabra and Amazon. But we will have them in stock at nickseasonaldecor.com at some point, hopefully very, very soon. So we're going to just create a traditional bow on top of this now, using whatever we have left. So don't be afraid of using your leftovers too. You only need a yard or two to create a pretty bow, in most circumstances, right? So just rotate. That is 3 loops on that side, 2 on the other. Let's work in a few more. So all I'm
Brenda
doing is
asked if you can do a bow with 4-inch wide ribbon, and yes, you absolutely can.
absolutely, yes. So 4 inches is my favorite width to work with, but you absolutely can. And you can use it in your Bodabra too.
Hi, Stephanie, joining us from Texas tonight, and Carol joining us from Florida.
Welcome to the both of you. So now that we have just a little bit of ribbon left over, I actually have enough loops where I'm comfortable enough to just scrap this 3-4 inch piece of ribbon. So now what we're going to do is take our wires out again. And if you're just tuning in, if you're a ghost watcher or just tuning in, drop us a comment letting us know that you're here. And same goes with you that watch our replays. So we have a wonderful replay rate where those of you that come back and watch our videos when you have the time, because we all have such crazy lives, right? So we appreciate you just as much as all of you guys watching live. Sandra said a chilly Florida here. I can't believe it's chilly in Florida.
I know. Hi, Max.
Hey, Max. Okay, so now that we have these tails, all we're going to do is dovetail these tails. We just worked in 2 sets. So there is 1, 2. We'll do the same thing to the other side. And then we can actually switch gears and work this on top of our present. All right.
Welcome, Rita. First time she caught you live tonight from West Central Illinois.
Hey, Rita. Carol is here too. All right, so Yaya wrap these presents. I am here to teach you guys how to make bows, not how to wrap presents. So we saved that for the master present wrapper. So it looks like this box is for Steven. So it has 2 gifts. It has a big one and then a little one. I'm trying to guess what this present is. I have no idea. But we removed our wire. We just snipped it short. All I'm going to do is work it in using a little bit of hot glue. So I'm just going to separate my tails, arrange them how I would like. Here is our glue skillet. We're going to just grab a little hot glue and place it right on top of the bow. So right where we cut that wire.
Hi, Sheila. She's new, watching from Oklahoma.
Hey, Sheila. And I'm actually going to just place that in the corner. Like that. Cover up Steven's name because we know this present is Steven's now, right? Then you can either wait for the glue to harden or you can do what I'm doing, which is just to fluff it and make sure to do it carefully. But a little bit of hot glue goes a long way, and that's all you need. You don't need tape to secure this because I would use hot glue over tape any day. I feel like hot glue will really keep it in place. And unless, I mean, even if something's expensive in here, it's not going to be damaged with a little bit of hot glue. Fluff your tails, and I like that these tails are kind of covering or softening the top present. Look at how cute that is. But we're not done yet. We're going to add a little bit of greenery. So this is a leftover stem that we more than likely used in the wreath community last week. And instead of throwing it out, if you guys have little bits of leftover greenery, snip them off, dip them in your glue skillet. Thank you guys for the shares. I appreciate it. If you enjoy watching us here on Bodabra, definitely give this video a thumbs up and a share. Our goal with these videos, or my goal, I should say, is to teach you guys how to make bows and just hopefully show you that it's not as hard as it may seem.
Hi, Bob.
Hey,
Gigi
Bob.
says, what a gorgeous bow.
So easy, Gigi.
Brenda would like to see a 4-inch wide ribbon.
Yeah, so we can definitely do that at some point. We won't be able to do it in this live, but hopefully in the future, we
I
will be
can
able to do.
definitely do it next week in the live.
All right, you guys, next Monday, Sandy will be live, and she's going to demonstrate how to use a 4-inch ribbon. Look at how pretty that is. And if that isn't spruced up enough for you, you can work in some other stuff. So we're going to just use our snips, snip off each piece of this fern. Steven's getting the royal treatment tonight with this present. So my logic is not every gift you're going to receive you're going to love, right? And same goes with the gifts you give. But if you go the extra mile and throw a few ornaments or a few pieces of greenery and a pretty bow on it, it doesn't really matter if they don't like it, because they're going to surely appreciate the effort that went into it. So definitely start doing this. You can do this for your Christmas gifts, which we're doing here. You can do this for any gift, birthday gifts, all year long. How they were attached. BJ says, thank you for showing the hot glue tip. I always wondered how they were attached. Yeah, a little bit of hot glue right to the wrapping paper and it'll keep in place. We can fluff it. That's how it looks from your angle. And this is how it looks from another angle. So show some hearts if you
Very
guys like.
pretty, Nick.
Couple feet of leftover ribbon. Didn't cost us anything because it was all scrap. So for those of you that are crafters, I know you have your own hoard full of supplies, closets full, cabinets. Put it to use when wrapping your gifts. So there is present number one, but we're going to switch gears and make another bow for another present. Do I like this one with it? I think maybe we'll do a natural burlap one, Alex.
Joanne says, absolutely beautiful, Nick. Sandra loves it.
Thank you, guys. So we're going to use some burgundy. I think burgundy will look pretty with this present. So the first gift was for Steven. I don't remember who the second one is for. Maybe Bella? Bella. So Bella's getting the second wrapped gift. And she's just going to rip it right off. So another length of wire. We don't need much since we're going to snip it short to work it on top of the present. Tuck your wires underneath. And now it's time to make our bow. So we showed you like a blend, a traditional bow with some extra tails. For this one, what are you thinking?
Let's do the opposite. Do funky.
Okay, let's do funky. I'm not sure, like a traditional, not a traditional bow, but other style bows, which are more appropriate for reeds, would look as good with this. So what we're going to do is, again, create little awareness ribbons. So what we have is one loop, two tails. Tails do not have to be the same length, clearly, right? They don't have to be the same length. Now what we're going to do is take that, place it inside, and we're going to repeat this process over and over and over again. So Donna says, hi, Nick and Alex. Thanks for packing my boxes. Love everything. The poinsettias are such great quality. Thank you, Donna. And Donna, I saw you shared a picture of what those poinsettias look like in your design, and it was just striking. So thank you for your order. And now I got to use some poinsettias. But that leads me to my next point. Here we are decorating some presents. You can absolutely work in a bow, using your Bodabra, and then tuck in some poinsettias as well onto your present. Some miniature poinsettias would look really pretty. And it's not going to cost you a fortune, and you just have a really spruced up present. Literally spruced up, right? So with this being a sheer ribbon, I really like the metallic look of it, but I do want to work in a few extra loops because the other present doesn't have a second present on top of it. So I really want this to have that wow factor. So all we're doing is just repeating the same process over and over again, alternating sides. Mary says, I always like it when Dad signs my box. Thank you, Mary. I think Dad's handwriting has improved a little bit. Not drastically, but a little bit.
I think so too. Hi, Holly, watching from Texas.
Hey, Holly.
Hi, Pat.
Pat's here. Yeah, so if you're watching the replay or a silent watcher right now, do us a favor. Let us know that you're here. We appreciate when you guys talk to us. All right, so this is going to be the final loop, and this will give us a nice full bow. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. So
Hi,
3
Sheila. She says, you are my inspiration for bows, Nick. Thank you.
Thank you, Sheila. I appreciate that. Let's do one more. Might as well. We're going to do a big bow for this present.
Sandra says, so glad you're making this kind. I haven't made one yet, so I now have your guidance.
Yes, that's what I'm here for, you guys. I'm here to help you and make your lives a little bit easier because I've been there. I know how difficult it seems to make bows when I first started. Granted, I've been at this for a long time, right, Alex? Mm-hmm. So I've kind of perfected it and got used to it. But it all comes down to practice. The more you get comfortable with your Bodabra, the more you get comfortable with making the bows in general, the easier it'll become. And all it takes is just one time for you to get it right, and then it'll just click with you. Because that's what happened to me. So trust me, one of these days, if you haven't gotten it yet, you will.
Deb says, I gotta get a Bodabra.
Yes. Hey, Gail from San Antonio, watching from Florida. Lisa loves that color. Me too. Burgundy. If I had a choice, I think I would do a burgundy tree over a bright red tree any day. Or just in general. I feel like I'm more a fan of this color. How about you, Alex? What do you prefer?
Yeah, I think so too. I love burgundy.
So, all right, I got a question for you guys now. Which do you prefer? I mean, these are completely different textures and styles, but do you prefer more of a bright red or a burgundy? So I'll be waiting for some responses. Hopefully, you guys are burgundy people. But it's going to match the present nicely. Lois from, hey, Steven, Alex, where's Nick? Hey, Lois from West Virginia. Love watching all of you.
Julie loves her Bodabra. Mary's still not comfortable with hers, and she's had it 3 years.
So it might take one extra day, right? You never know, and you will never know if you give up. So keep with it. I promise you, you'll get it. It's not that difficult. Once you master it, I'm telling you, you will be making beautiful bows. And all of your friends and family and customers will be jealous of you. Because I know we have a lot of you guys watching that own your own business. So if you guys are in your own wreath business, let me know down below. All right, so this is the bow. Again, I'm going to repeat the same process before fluffing it or adjusting it or doing anything special. We are going to secure it. So this one says B. Stevens. I don't know if Bella got this for Steven, but whoever opens it will probably be excited or confused.
Ooh, we have a lot of burgundies. We have some bright reds.
Oh, little Steven. Isn't he adorable?
Julie says, I like them both. Which works with the flowers?
Yeah, so it really does depend on what you're working with, right? And what you're doing. So if your house has a lot of burgundies and golds in it, then go with the burgundy. But, depending on the project too. So we added some hot glue to this. Now, while it's hardening, I'm actually going to fluff it. But you could leave it like this with a little bit of hot glue, let it sit, and then a couple minutes later, no more than like 3 minutes, you can easily fluff it. So you don't have to wait long if you choose that route. Or if you're living life on the edge, you can fluff it while the glue's hardening. Okay, fluff away. So what are your Christmas plans, you guys? I already told you ours. It's going to be a great Christmas. I just don't like the fact that it's here already.
I know. It came real quick this
Real
year.
quick this year. Oh, look at how pretty that bow is. You can also do one of my new favorite techniques, which is just to crinkle it a little bit.
Gigi says she has 2 Bodabras. She takes one to craft shows and makes bows. People stop and watch, then buy the wreaths.
Yes, that's right, Gigi. And I did one craft show. I didn't sell anything at the craft show, but that's what I did. And people were like, what are you doing? I was like, I'm making bows.
Beth says, inspiration to use the Bodabra I received last Christmas.
That's a great Christmas gift. Gwen loves her Bodabra. Jane is new. Welcome, Jane. So temporarily, I am going to just snip a little bit of greenery. There we go. And I think greenery really makes it too. That way it doesn't look like just a bow placed on a present, which I mean, nothing wrong with that, right? But I think it looks more finished. You can also, instead of having chicken scratch like Yaya's writing on it, you can also get tags, right? There's some really pretty inexpensive tags that you can get to spruce up your presents, and you can have the name tag kind of sitting out of the bow. So we just snipped a little bit of greenery down, and all we're going to do is just dip it in our glue and do the same thing we've been doing, lifting up our bow and working in a little bit of greenery. Thank you guys for the shares. I appreciate all of you. You guys are the best.
Cheryl says she used her Bodabra to make her tree topper.
Oh, a tree topper. Yes. And we did that. Did we do that last week? I believe so,
Yeah.
yeah. We did that in the wreath community last week. We taught our members how to make a tree topper using the Bodabra. All right, a couple more pieces of greenery. You can add as much or as little as you would like. You get a holly. You can also be using fresh greenery, right, Alex?
Yes.
Fresh greenery would look very pretty in this. Okay, a couple more pieces. Sandra always shares. Thank you, Sandra. And don't think it goes unnoticed. Okay. See, didn't that just add a nice little pop to this? I think so.
Actually, it makes the gifts so you don't want to open them. They're too pretty.
Makes it harder to return it too if you don't like it, right? When go the extra mile, you know, your friends and family and loved ones would definitely appreciate these little final touches. Look at that. I think that turned out very pretty too. Sandra loves this ribbon, right? So this is a 50-yard spool. I mean, sometimes just sprucing up your present like this can cost an extra 50 cents. So it doesn't have to be expensive to create something very pretty, nor do you have to, you know, go to the store or find anything special, because this is just all leftovers too. So I think we have enough time for one more bow. So let's make one last bow together.
And we have our winner tonight. And let's see, congratulations to Karen Richards. You have won yourself a free roll of scrunchie ribbon tonight. So congratulations, Karen. You can send Bodabra directly a message here directly on Facebook tonight, and they'll get you all set up with that free scrunchie ribbon.
Yes, congratulations, Karen. How exciting is that? So we're going to cut another length of our wire, place it into the Bodabra. Now we're going to use one of our new favorites, and that is 7/8" wired ribbon. So this is a very narrow ribbon, but it happens to be wired, which is really cool. So we're going to start with the length of tails. Yes, congratulations, Karen. We're going to place that right inside of our Bodabra.
Barbara says, great to see you live for a little, but anyways, from Ohio, it is snowing here and it's so beautiful.
Snowing. I would love a white Christmas. We never really have white Christmases here in Massachusetts. We just have white Januaries, Februarys, and Marches, because that's when our blizzards happen. Valentine's Day is blizzard season for us. So we haven't gotten snow yet, just a light sprinkling, but we're bound to get a lot of storms. Hopefully not. End of January, early February. So now what we're going to do is a different style bow. So we're going to work in a few pieces or a few loops that are about 4.5 inches across. So there's 2 on either side. Let's work in 3.
Sandra says her friends keep their bows from their gifts and use them.
Great idea. Definitely. So 3 loops about 4 inches. Now we're going to come back in with 2 loops on either side, and these are only going to be about 2.5 inches. And one of the most important things with designing, and I even say bow making, you know, depending on the situation, is depth. So by coming in with the largest loops first, and then our smaller loops, and then our smallest loop, it really creates an interesting show using just the same ribbon. So 3 4-inch, 2 2-inch, 2 2.5-inch, and then our final loop, which is going to be
the button loop.
The button loop. Or actually, how about we go one more layer? Let's go one more layer. See how that turns out. I don't think we've ever done this, you guys. There we go. And now we did 2 more smaller ones that are only about 1 inch. And our final loop is going to be our button loop. So this loop is just to cover our wire, pipe cleaner, string, whatever you're using to secure your bows. So we do one final loop that's going to sit perfectly in the middle. So this is a symmetrical bow. So this is a bow where, you know, measurement doesn't matter still, but it matters more than other styles. So the traditional and the funky, you guys know that I tell you that it doesn't make a difference. For this bow, you do want to be similar or close enough, more so than the other ones. Does that make sense? So
Yeah.
It's not like it stresses me out for these bows, nor should it for you. But since it's symmetrical, you want to be a little bit more precise in the other techniques I taught you tonight. There we have our bow. We're going to snip this off. And 221 of you guys still here. Thank you guys for tuning in. Nadia's here, another awesome Wreath community member. And it's time to fluff.
Hi, Sandra. Hi, Tina. Merry Christmas to you as well.
Yes, Merry Christmas, everyone. Fluff it open, pull apart your loops. Oh, I kind of like that extra layer. Doesn't that look cool, Al?
It does.
Fluff it open. Make sure it looks pretty. Open your button loop. And look at that bow technique. Using 7/8" ribbon, one of my new favorites.
Ooh, that looks so cute.
Doesn't it look cute? And you can use whatever color you want too. So this is a universal bow technique, and I think the size makes it so much more appropriate in a lot of settings, right? You can use it for smaller decor and not overwhelm your designs or techniques. What do you think of that? Show some hearts if you guys love this one too. And that is our final little bow.
Matches your shirt, Nick.
It
It's
does. Actually, I think this one did, but I don't think
a
it
little.
does. A little off. So thank you all so very much for watching. Congratulations to Karen again for winning a free roll of scrunchy ribbon. I want to wish each and every one of you guys a very Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and Happy New Year. So thank you guys for tuning in. I hope I taught you something new, and wrap your presents with some bows because it does make it look a
Thank you,
little bit.
Nick and Alex. Happy
Thank you.
Merry Christmas to both of you.
Merry Christmas to you too. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you very soon. Bye, everyone.
Good
Bye.
night, everyone.